What's going on YouTube? WILDMAN here. Now on today's episode, unfortunately, as you can see, this weather is absolutely terrible. But this is normal weather for most countries, and I'm fortunate to live in a place where my weather changes. And just today it looks like this, so we'll take it. On today's menu, I'm going to be doing, as you can see here, some sled work. I'm going to set that little thing up in a minute, and that's going to be part of my giant set. And I'm also going to be doing some back squats with chains. And I've been doing it with chains lately because I'm trying to focus more on the deadlift. And I'm finding that the chains on the back squat days are not zapping my central nervous system. So when it's time to do deadlifts, I'm not completely dried up and I'm able to perform the weights that I'm trying to perform and do my back squat and improve in that area as well. So let's pop into today's workout and let's see what we got planned. So on today's giant set, I'm doing the back squat. And later, I'll be adding chains. And the fun part is, I don't need to do much. I'm just kind of working up to see what I'm capable of. And in between my back squats, I'm also going to be doing some sled work. I'm going to be doing some sled lat pulls for some explosive work. And then I'm also going to drag it backwards. And then it's only 100 pounds, and that's because it doesn't need to be that heavy today. It's mainly just to keep myself warm and primed for the back squat. And like I said, I'm going to be adding 45-pound chains to the implement, and that's going to be the strength giant set for the day. Now, Clint Eastwood said in one of his famous Dirty Harry movies, a man has got to know his limitations. And that's what's kind of happening here. I'm using chains, and I'm only using chains on the back squat every time I do the back squat for two reasons. The first reason is because I'm more focused on doing a bigger number on the deadlift. For a long time, I was a really good squatter, whether it was the front squat, back squat, overhead squat, or an SSB bar squat. I was able to do it all. My back squat was even and sometimes higher than my deadlift. So I've always been a really decent squatter. And I kind of got a little tired of always having my back squat be more than my deadlift. I always felt like I suffered in my deadlift more than any other lift. So now I'm heavily focused on improving my deadlift. But what would happen is when I would back squat and hit impressive numbers, then my deadlift would always suffer. So now I'm trying to make sure that I'm fresh on my deadlift days and I'm taking it easy on my back squat. So that's why I'm using the chains, because it's a lot less weight at the bottom of the lift. So that makes it a lot easier for my central nervous system to recover for my next deadlift day. And the second reason why I'm using chains every single session for back squat is because my left knee has zero cartilage and support on the inner part of the kneecap. This is just because I played sports growing up, and I primarily ran cross country and track and played a lot of basketball. So as a result, I ended up rubbing away all that support on my inner knee. And I've had to work extra hard. And in my older years, I've had to make sure that my kneecap doesn't slip off my knee by being pulled too much on the outer muscles. The inner muscles are very weak. So I have to work on that extra every single session. And it really affects when I don't wear knee sleeves on my back squat days. But on today's session, I wanted to wear only the belt and no knee sleeves. Last session, I didn't wear any supportive equipment. So now I'm throwing one piece of supportive equipment on. And then the next session, I'll throw on the knee sleeves and I'll see how I can do. But for now, this is working out nice and I'm able to kind of play around with it and have a decent workout, simply just because I'm not trying to focus on the back squat. So every day I come to the gym, I can start small. And if I end small, that's perfectly fine, because then I can push it next time as long as my deadlift numbers keep going up. And once I hit my designated deadlift number, then I'm going to try to stay even with that number on the deadlift and then try to build my back squat to where it was before. Now this was up to my top set, and I've hit this weight before, so this isn't that big of a deal. But it is a big deal because my deadlift is a lot higher than it was, and I'm able to still hit this. And again, I'm not wearing any knee sleeves. So my knee felt very unsupported under this heavy weight. And I actually felt very good. I could actually go up 20 pounds more than this. But this was the weight I was supposed to hit today. So I decided to rack it back and call it quits and do some more work in order to build that stability in my knee instead. Alrighty, so what I'm trying to avoid right now in this workout is to not be a dummy. I need to know my limitations, and I was able to hit a very decent amount of weight with just a belt on. And because I have knee problems from the past when I used to play basketball and run a lot, I didn't wear any knee sleeves this time around. And so my knee feels very unsupported under this weight. However, this was the weight that I wanted to hit. And after reviewing the video, I actually saw that I could go up maybe 20 pounds more because it felt very good and it looked very smooth on the video. But I decided to end it here and just to do some more work to build up that knee stability so that I don't possibly injure myself or miss the lift when I do go up. So the plan is next time I do this implement, because I'm going to be using the chains because I'm trying to focus on deadlift more. So I'm trying to give my central nervous system a break. The plan will be to go up 20 pounds more with the knee sleeves, hopefully a little bit more. So we'll have to see, but I'm very excited where I'm currently at. Now we're going to finish the workout and make sure that we get a lot done. So that way all my goals can come true. So let's pop in and let's finish this workout. Now for the volume giant set, I was doing back squats, but I decreased the weight a lot, mainly because I want to make sure that I'm comfortable at the bottom of the squat. So this gives me a chance to kind of back off from that heavy weight that I just hit. And now I can really isolate my technique. So I can really feel if I'm moving correctly and if everything is supposed to be moving the way that I was supposed to do. And I wanted to do only 2 rounds just to make it an even number for the sled pulls, which is also what I'm doing. I just maintained that same giant set format from before and continued to do the exact same sled work. And now I was losing daylight, so I had to hurry up. But I decided to add 2 plates for the second round and my final round for volume because I really wanted to make sure that I was getting at least some fatigue. 135 was way too easy. So 225 here, it kind of felt too easy in the beginning, but after like the 6th rep, I started to slow down a lot more, which was good because it actually made me have to focus on my breathing, bracing, and my descent and ascent from the bottom of the hole a lot more. And since it's weight I know I can handle, I didn't have to worry about failing the lift. So this turned out to be a great choice to do in place of doing like my typical 3 rounds for 6 to 8 reps at a designated percentage of what I just hit. And for the assistance giant set, I just decided to kind of do some ox drags, and I kind of didn't have a number set. I knew my legs were very tired, so I really just wanted to finish them off and see what weight I could do. And I was doing some rope climbs in between just to make sure I was doing a push, and now I wanted to do a pull variation to make sure that I was doing my linear planes perfectly. Now you've been watching my channel long enough, you know I typically like to do sled drags and everything, usually during my push days, like on a bench press or my overhead pressing days. So the fact that I had worked my legs down to an oblivion and then was trying to go heavier on the sleds, I was very anxious to see what I could do with my legs being tired. And to tell you the truth, I was actually surprised because I thought I was going to do a lot less than what I could do. And you could see here, when I got to my final set, I was dragging really, really hard. And yes, this is a weight that I've hit before and I've hit with ease when I'm fresh, or at least if I'm not working the same muscle groups. But since my legs were so dang tired, I ended up struggling on this a lot. But that's okay, because I ended up getting a very decent workout out of it. And that's all that I was trying to do and get that pump to my legs by the time I was done. And I was happy with this weight because it means that even though I'm fatigued, I'm able to still pull that weight even when my legs don't want to move. Well, as you can see, we've lost daylight. So I'm going to finish up with a few accessories, but I'm going to leave you all here. Thanks for joining me tonight, and hopefully you learned something new, and as did I. I will see you next time. Thank you.